I found the number one knowledge worker task that you should automate now to not get left behind. This is the task of simply reading a text and then putting the information into a table. I can imagine that you did this a lot in the past, and probably this is also part of your everyday life. So you will take away from this like how this process would work in the computational work, how an AI would do this. Actually, I'm going to show you how my AI does this. And this process, it works for email, it works for survey answers, contact form submissions. So no reading, no thinking, no typing, ready for automation. So let's look at the workflow. The workflow is basically just this. It's simple so that you can now learn something. Extra made for you. How did we do this? You can see if we look at this workflow, the core, the most important AI part is here. And then we also have here another part, this is also important, but this part only runs the first time. And then after that, it will get the result directly from here. And what happens is that you can modify this string input. Here is the text that we want to read or we don't want to read. And it will go into this pipeline, and here it will face the AI. The AI will then do the thinking. And then here the Excel sheet is writing directly to the table. So now we can look at this. If we open this table, you can see, okay, we got a new entry. So now we can fire this again, and it will do it again. And we can also change the column names, and then it will extract different things. So it's a really user-friendly setup. And if you want to get this, I can tell you, just go to my GitHub page. You can also find the link in the description.
From water to walk, from past to future, this is the Runfish Show.
So then you will find this main sheet. And this is basically the project overview. You can see the workflow again. And the use case, in my case, I use it for the CRM entries. But as I said, it's for survey answers, contact form submissions, job applications. Although job applications is kind of a morally edge case, I actually should take that out. Here I also explain what it does. It's the input. It will check if the column have already processed once. So the first time they get processed, then it will write a new page to your Google Sheet. So if we check this, I can go here again. You can see it's this sheet that I'm talking about, description high 7F6. And this is exactly copied from what you type in here. And then it will make you these other required fields which are necessary so that the AI works what to do. And here is also a description. And every time you run this algorithm here, in this node, it will look at this sheet. So it's basically, you can modify this if you want. Topics particularly. So in the next time when it runs this, it will do a slightly different job. So we run this again, and then we can look that there will be 3 entries in the thing because we already run it 3 times. And you can see the answer now will be a little bit different. So orbital mechanics is now here and not in the beginning. So you can see it will have an effect on your outcome, but basically it still overlaps. It's basically still the same things it identified. So for example, Fermi paradoxon. Let's see if the others, the others also have this. So yeah, it can have an effect, but if it's not important, it will just will skip it. And so now, if you are on this page, you can also see you need an n8n account and a running instance. you simply go to n8n and yeah, make an account and get started, logged in. And then you will also be on this page basically that I have here. So this is the welcome page. And yeah, so that's cool. And if you want to get it, you just head over to this GitHub page and you get to workflows and you will find the workflow here. So this is a JSON file. We copy this, copy raw file. And I copy past the thing that I copied from the GitHub page in here. So this is it. And if we run it again, it will work again. In your case, it will not work. So in your case, you first have to set up the credentials here. So, and this one also takes a credential. So it's the Google Drive credential. So you have to set up a Google Drive credential and a Google Sheets credential. And that's everything for this workflow. And what you can see as well is now it throws an error, because if you copy past all of this, there are multiple setups. I'm using currently the CRM setup, but we can delete this. And we delete this node. And this is the same node that we used last time. And if you press your key D, it will reverse the deactivation. So it's back. And then we can save and we can run it, and this will work all fine. And if you have some problems, then yeah, just read these notes here. So in our case, the spreadsheet was this before, but now let's do a new task. And we want to look at this data set. So these are survey replies. And so I'm going to make a new Excel sheet. It's just file, new, spreadsheet. So we have the new sheet, and here we put in any kind of column names that we want. For example, this for price willingness is very important for if some people survey our product. Primary use case category, what they think about our product, the main risk that they associate with it, then the deal breaker feature request, like something that they really would like to have, and also what kind of user they actually are. Like we can probably infer this from the text, from the survey answer they sent us. Okay, so we set this up. And the second thing we have to update when we have a new project is like this ID here, we put it into our workflow. So this is the spreadsheet ID, we put it in here. And so now the spreadsheet is set up and the ID is in there, and we can basically start. So I will just copy one of the text that I want to get converted to this table form, and I put it into the string input, like the other variables. You only have to change stuff here, and we put it here. And if we now run this, I think I already told you, the first time it will also run this, and it will basically generate more data that will be used by the AI, so it can really do its job. But this will never be called again because it basically looks, is there an additional sheet? So it will produce a sheet, and if that sheet is there, then it will send it to this branch. You can see this is an if node, and yeah, in this case it didn't exist, so it's red, and it sent it down here. It produces this additional sheet and will also produce the input that is necessary here so that it knows what to put out. And you can see it decided that the price willingness for this text is none. Primary use case category is communication. The main risk and concern they talk about too, so feed data being scraped and trained, live feed hacking during sessions. So you don't know what we're talking about, but it's basically a camera which is as thin as a sticker. And yeah, so anyway, that's not really important, but so then it sent it over here, and I think we can look here. Oh, this is our old spreadsheet here. Okay, so it sent the information here too. And the sheet that I was talking about is this one. Every time it only works if these sheets exist and if this sheet is in correct order. So let's look at it, and you can see that here are some descriptions of this. So this will be used, and from this the LLM or the chatbot, it knows, okay, it has to return a field with this title, which is just a string. A string is just a sequence of characters, and the description of this is users willing price range in US dollar. So I think this makes sense, but if you want to change this, you can change it, and then the LLM will adjust its behavior based on that. Here also primary use case category, main category of intended use case, it was easy. Main risk, concern, key risk or concern identified, deal breaker feature request that would block purchase, user archetype, typical user profile type. So as I said, this is required so that the large language model really knows better what to do. Otherwise it doesn't function. It needs, you can also provide it nothing here, but I don't recommend it. So if we look at this, we have tested it, and you have seen that we can go through this, and the first time it will also do this. Now, every time we basically have to go in here and just replace this text with whatever we want to analyze, to get added to our table. So in this case here, we have quite a few text, which is a little bit much to copy paste. I mean, it's still faster and it still helps you a lot to do this. And you can see that now, okay, this time it already knows what it has to do, so it will directly do it and update the value. Yep, we got it. So now we have 2 lines, and these are both processed. And so we would like to ask, hey, if we can do this, why can I not just automate the whole list? So if we want to do this, we can clearly do this. It's not difficult. We just go to Claude and tell it, hey, can you please make us a different trigger? And then, yeah, okay, so please make us a new trigger that I can link to a Yeah, so actually that's also possible. Instead of copy pasting every of your text into this node, you can basically run another workflow that sends all your texts into this workflow through execution of this node. So other workflow can basically trigger this workflow and send in information. But there is also an easier way to do this. So basically we can just use our spreadsheet here, and we can feed in the data directly through one node that I will show you later, and then just also feed the data back into this table. So you have different options. You can send in information from one sheet and write to another, but even if you want to write to the same, that's also possible. So here we have set this up. We can just do this. Let me shortly delete this. And so in that case, we simply add one node here. So we have to read the rows. We get rows and sheet, and it's very simple. We just select survey replies and the sheet that is important. Okay, So this setting, and then we have to update this because we're also writing to this sheet. So we have to, this is the old one from here, and we don't use this, we need the new one. So that's this one. We put it in place. And yeah, so here is also the changes that we have to revert them. And yeah, you could go back to my GitHub page, but extra for this tutorial, I put this value also here into the settings. You can see the default value was like that. Yeah, this is a value maybe you want to get back. And then the rest can basically stay the same. And we can just run it again. So now you can see it has 2 items here. That's because we have 2 rows. And then it will also feed in 2 items here and 2 items getting out here. And we can check the result. Oh, okay. It didn't quite do what we expected. We thought it will just write in here, but instead it appended new columns. And so let's so shortly delete this again. And this is because unfortunately we cannot feed in one parameter that would be required. So n8n has, maybe we'll update this in later versions, but here we have the variable column to match on. So that's this one, right? Text to interpret. We want that every data here is matched to this column. And so here is email. This is the old one and it's not updated. So you can click here, refresh. And now click again, and here text to interpret. So this is the right. And if we run it now again, it should all work. So 2 items and 2 items. And are they aligned? Yes. Okay, so that worked very good. Now we have one more thing I want to show you. So if this is not just 2 items, but it's actually many more, right? And you're using the free services. So okay, let's add a few. Okay, now we have more. And you're using the free services like me, I do. I am restricted at 5 requests per minute. So what will happen is this. We will trigger this and you will get an error here. Okay, no, it didn't. Something's broken. Well, that is because we didn't extract too many values. So that actually still works. But now if we have more than this, for example, if you increase the numbers, the columns that you want to extract. So for example, you also want to extract hacking concern about this product that they are reporting about, or if it's like the resolution battery drain. So if we want to extract more, you will see this requires more API calls. We run it, now it will trigger this. And afterwards we will run into a rate limitation. Okay, 5 was all good. Okay, that is still interesting. It was not enough.